What's up, good people? Welcome to the Dub Square podcast, where we talk about whatever, whenever. I'm one of your hosts, Reggie. I'm here with my friend Trina.
What's up?
Hey, Trina,
Hey,
how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
How was your week?
My week was good. What I can remember of it. How was yours?
Oh, I had a pretty good week. See,
You do anything exciting?
I voted on Tuesday,
Okay,
the primary
okay.
election, so I did my civic duty. A lot of people fought for me to have the right to vote, so I always make sure I get out and do that.
Did
Also
you?
had a meeting on Tuesday for a possible opportunity that I'm pretty excited about. I might share more details about that in the future. Um,
Did you wear your Black Panther hoodie that you wear? That you
no,
normally wear when you vote?
no, I didn't wear my Mbaku hoodie. It was a warm day. Pretty much, it was
What does
rainy,
this?
but it
What
was
does
kind of
that?
warm.
What does that hoodie say? Does it say something
It just
specific?
has Wakanda Forever on it, but it's
Oh,
my
okay, that's what
favorite.
it
My
is.
favorite
Okay.
character from Black Panther,
Yeah,
Mbaku.
I feel like you've worn it the last few times you've had to vote.
Yeah, I mean, it's election day.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what that. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So like I said, I voted, and I had a meeting that I'm pretty excited about. Possible opportunity. Went to visit some friends on Friday, and now I'm here recording the podcast with you. So this is how I guess this is. I mean, it's Sunday, so it's kind of the beginning of the week. That's
Hmm.
how we've been kicking it off the past few weeks. So I think we started off pretty productive. But
Okay.
yeah, that was my week. I actually had something to share. Typically, I just kind of chill out, don't have much to share. But
Mm,
this past week, I got out a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, but overall, it was a pretty good week.
That's what's up. Can I really remember my week? I don't remember the first part of the week. As you were talking, I was trying to remember, and I just don't remember. But I do know. Let's see. Thursday, I went and celebrated a friend's birthday. Went to Korean barbecue. Have you ever had Korean barbecue?
I had, and I want to try it though.
You
I do
should.
want to try it.
Maybe we can try it when you visit again. But like they can cook the food in front of you or whatever. I didn't do that because, I'm not really big on meats that often. So I didn't want to like they have an all you can eat option. You can try different types of meat or you can like do a combo special. I just did the combo with teriyaki chicken. I did the safe route because I didn't want to waste food because they do charge you for any food that's left over. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, that was fun. It was a cool experience. Also, let's see what else. Oh, I went to the Wild and Out tour Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, that's two things. That's two things back to back, friend. Like, okay,
You,
so I'm gonna tell you
you were
about the
doing
Wild
a
and Out
lot.
tour in a minute. But whenever I was making these plans, I was like, dang, and I looked at my calendar. I was like, dang, man, I have a lot coming up back to back. I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I did make everything because I had an event yesterday that I didn't get to didn't get to make it to. I was looking forward to it. It was called She Is. Um, my friend has this business called Sincere Fair, and they
Mm-hmm.
put on these like events, kind of like social dinners. But they had one yesterday in honor of Women's Appreciation Month. Women's Lord, let me get this right. Women's International Women's Day,
Which is today,
which is today.
at the time of
Um,
recording.
yeah, so it was so that like it looked as if it turned out really well. But yeah, Wild and Out on Friday night was really fun. It was really funny. Um, yeah, overall it was cool. Something that I do want to bring out about Wild and Out is that at the end of the show, they actually presented this mom, like one of her sons have cerebral palsy, and her other son passed away in a motorcycle accident. And so they presented her with a check, which is really cool. They also made March 6th the official Nick candidate in Atlanta. Like Mayor Bottoms sent someone and they did the whole thing. So that was pretty cool.
Okay,
But
that's cool.
yeah, I had a busy, busy weekend at least.
Okay. Well, you mentioned International Women's Day, and I definitely want to say Happy International Women's Day to you. Yeah, that part. But yeah, sincerely though, Happy International Women's Day.
Thank
Definitely
you.
want to give a shout out to all the women in my life. You know, it takes a village, and I had a lot of women that were involved in bringing me up. You know, helping to raise me. My mom had me when she was 18, so you know, she needed some help. So it was my grandmother, my great grandmother, my other grandmother, my aunts that were, second moms to me. And then even just, as I got older, all my female friends and all the support they've shown me over the years. And, just wanted to definitely give a shout out. I appreciate women every day, but this is International Women's Day, so definitely want to take time out to say Happy International Women's Day to all the great women from a man who is not threatened by your greatness.
That's what's up, friend. And on behalf of the wonderful women out there, I do accept that. Thank you very much. No, but really, I will say that I can tell that you appreciate women just by like you're very understanding of things. You're very supportive of different things when it comes to like women and their opinions and like the treatment of women. So I am appreciative of that, and I wish that more men could be that way. And that's actually something like I always say I brag on you. But I brag on all my friends, but I do. I brag on you sometimes about, how open and understanding you are of certain issues. And, I appreciate that.
Well, glad to do it. It's the least I could do. A woman brought me into this world, so it's the least I could do.
She brought you into this world. She could take you out.
I mean, she told me that. She told me that when I was younger, so for
she t-
sure.
she told me something. She was telling me a story one day, and she was like, "I told him I brought you into this world. I could take you out."
Who
I love your
knows?
mom's stories.
Who knows what she was talking about?
Oh
I don't
man.
know. She did slap me one time. I still haven't felt it. I think it's just gonna come. I think one day I'm just gonna be sitting up. My nerves gonna finally come back. They're gonna be like, "Okay, this is that slap that your mama. This was that slap 20 years
Dang.
ago." So yeah, she definitely did that. But hey, what can I say? I mean, you know, you s- hey, when you say stuff, you got to deal with the consequences. So I must have said something I had no business. But but yeah, but moving on. What are we talking about this week, friend?
Okay, so our topics. Can I get a drum roll?
Sure, I'll give you one.
Thank you. Insert drum roll here. We're going to talk about stylists, hairstylists, and their ridiculous rules. And we're also going to talk about the coronavirus.
Okay, yeah, that's been all in the news lately. So yeah, all right. So let's kick it off. Let's get into it.
Let's kick it off. Go ahead with the coronavirus, friend.
Oh, you want to lead with that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, as many of you know, we're dealing with a pandemic worldwide right now. The coronavirus is, a lot of jokes have been made. A lot of people, I guess in times like this, you do need a little bit of comedy and need to laugh it off. But it is a very serious issue.
Mhm.
I was just looking at some numbers. There are over 109,000 confirmed cases and a little over 3,800 deaths associated with the coronavirus worldwide. It's been all in the news. It's affected events. I know South by Southwest is one that is an event that got canceled.
Mhm.
I think the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic got canceled, which is like Arnold Schwarzenegger and he was a long time bodybuilder, so it's a bodybuilding event that got canceled.
Mhm.
Um, like I said, South by Southwest, which really affected a lot of artists because they're unable to perform, and I think it might have affected
Yeah.
their cash flow. And I did see one thing. I did see just a small note. I did see a studio that was offering to do like production and stuff and give artists studio time for free
Oh, that's cool.
that were affected by the cancellation of South by Southwest. So I thought that was cool.
Hmm.
Travel, like I said, travel's been affected. Ticket prices are very low, for what I'm hearing, because a lot of people are canceling travel just because they want to take precautions. Uh,
And not only individuals, but companies are canceling traveling. Like,
yeah.
I know, for instance, I think my sister, her job said that They're not going to do any traveling next week, and I know that a lot of people are saying that their companies are saying no more traveling. So it's not
Yeah,
that not just individuals. So it's like a big hit to the airline companies.
yeah, and also a lot of companies have been telling their employees to work from home. So seen a lot of that. I believe all of Twitter, if I'm not mistaken, was working from home. Just people taking precautions, trying to make sure that they're safe. And a lot of people have been talking about washing hands, which is crazy to me. But people don't wash hands
People
though.
don't wash their hands, friend. They
So
don't, and I call
yeah,
those people out.
I mean,
What I mean, what do you do when you see someone in the bathroom who does not wash their hands? Like
I just shake my head, man. But that's terrible. But
disgusting.
people are really about that life now, washing their hands. But like, let's make sure we're washing our hands when there isn't a pandemic going on.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I can't say that I've been doing anything terribly different because I mean I am big on washing my
Mhm.
hands. I've been a little bit more mindful of touching my face because that is one of the things that some officials have said. Um, you know, make sure you're not touching your mouth, eyes, nose, because that has been known to. I guess that's one of the causes of getting the virus. I guess.
Mhm.
But I mean, other than that, it's been business as usual for me because I mean I wash my hands.
Right.
I've always
Yeah.
done that.
It's funny because earlier, my sister and I we were talking about it as I sit here with my hand on my face. But I was like, "Dang man, they tell you not to touch your eyes. I'm gonna be screwed because I touch my eyes. Like my eyes are severely dry, and I'm always like wiping my eyes or putting drops in my eye. I'm always touching my eyes and my face. But I'm like, man, I don't really go nowhere. So yes, I said I don't go nowhere. I
Yeah,
don't go nowhere.
yeah.
So, I'm not really. Plus, they say black people can't get it.
Here you go.
I'm gonna tell you something funny. So I've been saying that all week, just jokingly with my sister, and um at the Wild and Out show, one of the cast members said, "Well, black people can't get coronavirus." That's okay. So it's apparently a rumor, obviously. But do you know? Have you read anything about that?
I saw something that talked about I guess melanin fends off the virus or something to that effect. But it was from Facebook Medical, so
Oh,
still
okay.
both go.
Well, the article that I read, it was basically saying that, and I think I also maybe I sent you like an infographic of like the different continents and countries and the cases and the deaths and stuff.
Yeah, you
But
did.
if you look at Africa, like it's very few there. And so what they were basically saying in the article that I read, I can't even remember where the article came from, but they were saying that they were wondering why a lot of people in Africa hadn't been affected by coronavirus because the healthcare there isn't as advanced as the healthcare in other places. So they would think that people in Africa would have more cases, or there would be more cases of coronavirus in Africa. Um, so yeah, that's where the rumor part that I saw came from. But
But yeah, you did send me that map of Africa, and I did see that there weren't any cases in the heart of Africa. But one of the things that stood out to me is that South Africa was one that
why did you just make that face if pause?
because it supports the theory that you know more melanated folk are not being affected by it.
Right.
But folks don't, if you're listening to this, of course we're not medical professionals. And then also like even if you're the blackest of black, don't be out here doing silly stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
But
because yeah.
continue to take precautions because like I said, what I saw, the first thing I saw was from Facebook Medical, right?
Yeah.
So, you know how that goes. And then, this map is just it's just the numbers. And, maybe something happened and there's a case somewhere else in Africa now, and not just in South Africa and northeast Africa, and
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Well, let's also talk about two things. One, um one of the things is like a lot of the cruise ships have been like having difficulty coming back to port. They're not letting them because there'll be people on board who have coronavirus, or like one in California, I think it was this week, someone on board passed away. They had coronavirus. So, that's quite interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine just, being on a cruise and, people go on cruise to, relax and
Mhm.
enjoy that time. And then they spend that time in quarantine, and then, they get back to the States and they're in quarantine. And I even saw where one couple, they were traveling and the husband ended up having to stay in Japan, I believe, because, he needed to be quarantined, and they were separated for a minute. And I think she got back to the States, but he was still in Japan. They were both under quarantine, and they finally, you know, that quarantine was lifted, and they met up at the airport with the mask on and everything. So, and let's talk about that too. The mask shortages, like people have been having these surgical masks, or
Mhm.
just in medical professionals are saying like, please don't buy them up because it's affecting like healthcare workers. And they're also saying that wearing the mask doesn't really protect against coronavirus, so it's really pointless if you wearing it.
See, I feel indifferent about that because it's like, okay, no, no, don't buy stuff up. But if somebody wants to buy it to protect themselves, that's fine. Um, excuse me. For instance, people who are flying, like you have people who wear masks on a regular day when they're flying because people are disgusting. So like I don't see anything wrong with people purchasing these masks. Also, dang, I lost my train of thought. That happens sometimes. It actually happens a lot. Saying that it doesn't protect. Okay, so I'm like, are you saying that it doesn't protect from the coronavirus because you don't want people to go out and buy them? Because like y'all were just saying that they will protect. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, what's the truth here? You know? But the whole thing with shortages as well. Something that I wanted to mention is I saw this Snapchat video last night, someone I follow, and they were in the store with these two women, and these women in their buggy, they had the top part like where the child sits. It was um it was full of alcohol, like rubbing alcohol. Like when I say full of it, I mean like full. It had to at least been like, I don't know, probably like 30 bottles. And then the bottom part was full of Perel, I think it was. No, no, no. It was alkaline water. It was full of alkaline water. And so like they were like, one of the ladies was like, I guess she was justifying it. We're buying this stuff now because it's gonna be a shortage eventually. And I responded to the person. I was like, it's gonna be a shortage because they're buying, people like them are buying it all. Like that's how
I mean,
shortages happen.
people are they're really stockpiling stuff, man. On one of the podcasts I listened to, the Friend Zone friend was speaking about like how she was grocery shopping, and like a lot of food is out of stock. I guess people are just like stockpiling, and they got their bunker ready,
Mhm.
and just in case. I mean, we can say that it's a bit extreme, but it's kind of like, I guess, what the squirrel and
Mhm.
what's the story? The squirrel storing for the winter.
Mhm.
So everybody looking at him crazy,
Yeah.
but then when the winter came, he was good to
Right.
go.
Right. And I don't think it's anything wrong with prepping, but for that lady to be like, we're buying it all because it's gonna be a shortage, like you're the reason for the shortage. Like, come on. But yeah, like I think it's excuse me, I think it's important to always like periodically purchase stuff to put back because you never know when something happens.
Yeah,
I'm I mean, people can call me a conspiracy theorist. Like, I use logic as well, but there are some things um, that I do think, and I got off the topic of you talking about the mask. So if there was something else you wanted to say about the mask, you can go back.
mhm,
But um, yeah, like I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist, and let's go back, and the word conspiracy theorist came from people who, like, when people were telling the truth about stuff and other people didn't want, the world to find out, they came up with the term conspiracy theorist, to make a person seem crazy. But, like, I know that a lot of things aren't as they seem, and it's not what meets the eye. Which brings me to the next thing of, people saying the coronavirus is like a distraction.
Yeah.
Because I've seen, like, people mention how, you know, specifically with elections, around election times, there's always something different going on.
Yeah.
Um, but just in general, like, I do believe that some things are man-made. I'm not saying whether I believe coronavirus is or not. Maybe I
Mhm.
do. You can't see whether I'm shaking my head yes or no because you're listening. But I do think that it's possible that it's a distraction. I do think it's possible. I think anything's possible in the
Yeah, for
world that we
sure.
live in.
For
Um,
sure.
but yeah, that's all I got. Was there something else you was gonna say about the mask? I kind of took
Nah, I
over.
just I just wanted to mention that because I mean, that was one of the headlines associated with the coronavirus is that,
Mhm.
there's a shortage of masks, and I didn't even know about that whole thing with the ladies buying up all the Perel and or whatnot or whatever they bought.
Yeah,
And
no,
that's interesting. I mean, like, so, and then my question to that is, are you buying this so you're prepared, or are you buying this to make a dollar later on? Because supply and demand, as there's a shortage,
right,
demand goes up, so the price goes up. Um, or I mean, are they opportunists or are they just really prepping? So
right.
maybe a little bit of both,
Well,
but
these are like, I actually know the guy that was in the what you call it. Excuse me. But like, in general, yeah. Like, some people will for instance, back Snowmageddon in Atlanta,
yeah,
we of course, that's actually around the time that me and you reconnected, remember? Because we were talking about the snow. But anyway, so I got stuck. I was one of those people that was stuck out, on the highway for 10 plus hours. I think I was stuck for like 13 hours. Um, and when I finally got home, our lights had gone out and they were going to be out for a little while. So we made our way downtown and we stayed at one of the hotels downtown, and they ran out of stuff. So they went over to, like, we decided to go to CVS and then go eat next door to the hotel. While we're there, we see people from the gift shop at the hotel buying like travel size things out of CVS to go sell. And we heard them. We heard their conversation. They were told to go over there and buy that stuff so that they can sell it at the hotel.
yeah,
So that, that's to the point of you seeing supply and demand.
yeah. And I mean, and in times like that, I mean, whenever there's a disaster, there's going to be that side of it. There's going to be some shortages here. There's going to be some as far as like hotels, they're going to hike up the prices a lot of times because they can. People need somewhere to stay. They're going to pay what they need to be safe. So,
Yeah.
but
So I wonder if there's a thing, because I know that, like, during hurricanes and stuff like that, um, sometimes gas stations will price gouge, and you can report them. You can report them because, like, for instance, excuse me, I know this certain place. I'm not going to say where, but two of the gas stations are were owned by the same people, and they like play with their gas prices, so that they get more money. Excuse me, and people started reporting them. So I know that there's a place that you can report price gouging for gasoline, but I wonder if there are other places that you can report stuff like that. I just, thought just that just came to me.
I'm sure there is. But can something be done? No, that's the question. But
Right. Well,
um,
I have another question for you. Are you about to move on to the next topic?
no, you go ahead. What's up?
So if there if there was a situation like The Walking Dead, you
Oh
know,
my.
do you think that you survive? Like, do you think you're equipped to survive something like
Oh,
that?
like, do I have survival skills?
Yeah.
I'm pretty resourceful. I mean, that would definitely be. I have definitely not, went through training or anything like that. But
Right. Good friend. When you go
uh,
through that training, you want to tell me about it?
Yeah, I didn't do any. I wasn't a Boy Scout, Eagle Scout, anything like that. Never went camping when I was younger or anything of that nature. But, you know, it would definitely be a challenge. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't feel at home with that. I wouldn't be too overly confident
Yeah,
and feel like I'm prepared.
yeah.
But
I feel like you do a pretty
I'm a
good job.
survivor.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
definitely that. So
And you can make you're good at like rigging things up to make it.
yeah, MacGyver was one of my favorite shows growing up. So
Really?
yeah.
I I think that I survived. And that was actually one of the things. So the day of Snowmageddon, I left my phone at home. I never leave my phone. But I left my phone at home when I realized I was like, I'm not turning around going back because I'm already late. But so my manager actually, whenever it started snowing, she let me go early. And so I emailed my sister before I left work, let her know I was on my way home, whatever, whatever. And now I'm out here in the middle of all of this ruckus for all these hours, have not been able to contact anybody. But my mom told me in the end, she was like, "Oh, I knew you'd survive. You're your dad's child. You go hunting. I knew you'd be okay." And also, my mom, okay, so growing up, we would fast on Sundays before church. Um, and something my mom would say, she'd be like, "It's good to fast sometimes, because what happens if the world run out of food, you don't have any food, and like you gotta fast. Like fasting preps you for that." And I think it's always funny whenever she says that, because I'm like, dang, that's extreme. But it's
Yeah.
true, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it helped you out that day.
For
I
real.
mean, as for me, I was at home the whole time. So,
Yeah.
that was whew. One of my friends did have to come stay with me though. She literally lived like 3 miles from me, but she couldn't make it any further down Highway 280.
Yeah.
And she had to come stay with me. And, that was a bit of a challenge because I had food for one, because I did not prep. So we had
Yeah,
to.
because you didn't get those beanie wieners that I was talking about in that other
Mm,
episode.
okay, cool. But in closing, on everything dealing with natural disasters and pandemics and things of that nature.
Oh, wait, one more thing. I'm sorry. I wanted to mention when you were talking about quarantine, I wanted to mention, did you see that there was a five-star hotel, and I put emphasis on that for a reason, a five-star hotel where they were holding quarantined people in China. It collapsed. Did you see that?
Whoa, I did not see that.
Yeah, I'll send you the link because I reposted it on Facebook. But at first I was like, okay, is this a joke? But I saw like that it was a legit source, and then I started seeing at other legitimate places. But yeah, it was like a five-star hotel, quarantined people staying there, and it collapsed.
Oh
At the
man.
time when I read it, I think that they may have rescued like 60 people, and maybe 30 people were still stuck or something. It was some numbers like that. But I was like, and thinking about that, I was just like, how does five-star hotel just collapse? I'm not saying there was conspiracy. I'm not saying it was a setup. I'm not saying any of that. You can't see what I'm doing with my head, whether I'm shaking it yes or whether I'm shaking it
Oh
no.
my
But I'm
gosh.
just putting it out there that I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, okay. I don't that's something. Yeah, I'll put that in the show notes. So
Yeah,
be sure to check the show notes if you guys want to see that story.
yeah.
Granted, we're able to find it, but um yeah, I just wanted to say in all of that, dealing with natural disasters, and at this time we're dealing with coronavirus. Just be safe out there, y'all.
Hmm.
Just do what you can to protect yourself. You know, wash your hands, keep some hand sanitizer on you. If you're touching surfaces that other folks touch, just be mindful of that. Keep your hands away from your face. Just be conscious of that, and just be safe out there overall. And pray, and we'll get through this. We've gotten through so much, so we'll continue to thrive, and we'll push forward. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, what's the next thing we're talking about today?
Excuse me. The next thing we're going to talk about is stylists and their ridiculous rules.
Okay.
Okay, so I was on Twitter the other day, and like a week ago, and my friend retweeted where someone was talking about how these stylists on this certain website or app, they always have these ridiculous rules. Like, for instance, they'll say something like, if you're coming in to get your hair done, make sure your hair is make sure your hair is washed, blow dried, and styled whenever you make it.
Just make sure your hair is done when you come to get your hair done.
Exactly, exactly. And so they were talking about. So I looked at the thread, and they were basically just talking about, everybody was talking about their bad experiences with that, and like it's obviously happening more so than not. And it made me think about. I remember one of my friends telling me when she was getting ready to make an appointment before, like she told me, she was like, listen to this, and she read me some of the stuff that it said on the stylist page, like the to do's or you must do, and a lot of the times, like it's like a bad tone with it as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and so like I don't know, it just became a big thing, so much that someone created a Twitter handle. And what was that Twitter handle, Reggie? Do you remember?
It's at Put Down the Comb on Twitter.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Let me see. I'm gonna go to it real quick. And it says, stop giving these unprofessional stylists your money. And that's something that I believe. I believe that if if people are being like this, like they need you just as much as you need them. Stop giving them your money, you know? But just to anything you want to say before I read some of the stuff that's on this
No, no,
page?
go ahead.
Okay. So on this page, it says, I made this account to expose and force these unprofessional hairstylists to get it together. Send me your stories and the stylists' names. Um, and I'm just gonna read you a couple of tweets through here. I just booked with this stylist, checked my email, and she has set my appointment time back another 30 minutes. That's not a problem at all, but why didn't she ask me? I'm so tired of these people, I swear. Um, Here's another one. It says braiding salons nowadays be like, if your hair is not relaxed, you will be charged a $95 inconvenience fee. You must buy me and my team lunch, and no, you cannot have some. A $35 existing fee. If you're late for any reason, no, if I'm late, the stylist, for any reason, you will be charged a $50 inconvenience fee.
Yeah, that sound about right.
Yeah. And then there's one particular one that I wanted to read. And it says, these new young stylists, I just can't give my money to. And it's a text thread between a person and a stylist. And it says, hey, good morning. My appointment is at 12. I've been waiting for you to tell me what hair to get. I still have to get the hair and drive down to you. Do you have hair on hand? She responds, ma'am, I'm not responsible to tell you what hair to purchase. That is your responsibility! Exclamation point. The website informs you that if nothing is written online, then you buy the hair of your choice! Exclamation point. You're, Y-O-U-R, contacting me very last minute about a hair preference while I am working and putting pressure on me when it is your responsibility to know what you want to purchase, not mine. If you want your style similar to any of the client, you can message her and ask for information. Styles like that, I do not require a certain type of hair. They bring it in and I install it. The person responds, LOL, I texted you since last night asking about hair that your website doesn't suggest. Why would I write a client when you're because when you're the bee that's supposed to do my hair, don't worry about it. She says, ho F you. You new stylist. Whoa, this is a whole bunch. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was a whole bunch. But yeah,
Yeah.
so um yeah. It's a lot of disrespect. Cause after she did that, I would just be like, no, I'm not going. I would have canceled that appointment so fast. And like I've seen a lot of people too. I've seen a lot of stylists complaining about people on YouTube, like these stylists on YouTube, are people who are not stylists but just showing you how to do hair on YouTube. They're obviously upset because it's quote unquote knocking their hustle. But to me, it's not really knocking your hustle. If you're good at what you do, we're gonna constantly go back.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you're overpriced and you have attitude, nobody's gonna come to you. I can easily get on YouTube and do my own hair.
Also, the YouTubers are taking money out of their pocket, basically.
That's what they say.
I mean, sure, I guess, but I mean, iPhones take great photos, but people still hiring photographers. So,
That's true.
you know, I mean, if you do great work, then people will continue to come to you, like you said. Um, I mean, I hadn't had to deal with that. I mean, of course, I hadn't had hair in forever, so I hadn't been to the barber shop.
I automatically just looked at your head when you said that.
But you know, I did. You know, I the only thing with me, I never had an issue as far as like scheduling appointments with barbers or anything like that. Anytime I needed to do that, that was cool. Um, my issue was with the work that they did. Like I wouldn't trust my beard to anybody really. It's just, I mean, it's when you tell someone exactly what you want and they just do what they want to do.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, okay, I'm not going back. Like I
Mhm.
even went to this somewhat upscale place one time. I mean, like real nice, you know, give you a drink when you come in, you know, leather chairs and TVs in the mirror, all this very, you know, executive type, you know, top tier service. But then the barber was terrible. Like I thought it was one of those moments, you know, I talk about these moments sometimes where I feel like maybe I'm stupid. You know, maybe it's me
Yeah.
because he was lining my beard up. I'm like, I mean, that's definitely not what I asked for. And like, why are you pushing the line that way? Like, this makes no sense to me at all. And that guy was terrible too. He was, I little did I know he was like the new barber there. He was like, oh man, he was from New York, had a strong New York accent. It's like, yeah, man, I can't do the accent, but
Yeah.
anyways, he was just talking about
I wanted you to try. I was gonna
he
see if you were gonna
nice with
try
it,
it.
he
Yeah.
nice with it, you
Yeah.
know, dead ass son, you know, all that whatever. He was so nice with it, but he was terrible. I mean, first of all, like, um, you know, my appointment, you know, I got there on time, you know, I got there early, and you know, they got to me late, and you know, when he cut my hair and everything, that's when because I had hair then, well, just the beard.
You had hair
But when
before?
yeah, but when he cut my when he cut my hair, I realized why my appointment was late because he was taking forever, and you know, it's just it's not, you know, it's a lot of barbers out there that's real nice with it, like my frat brother Will, like he really messed me up because like I'm talking about Will is a genius with the clippers, and he used to cut my hair for free. So then, you know, he moves to Florida, so I can't get to him. And you know, I started cutting my own hair for a while. Then when I moved to Birmingham, I tried to find a barber, and I've tried maybe 5 barbers in the 8 years I've been here, almost 9 years I've been here, and nobody cut it, man. And it's just no pun intended. Nobody cut it.
But
It's just and all it is man, just really listening to people and what they want.
Mhm.
And I don't think it's that hard. And then, you know, for because I think it's definitely different for women. Because I mean, I can remember back home, you know, back home, small town, it's just a few people that do hair. So when prom comes and stuff like that, like people are there like literally all day. And it was just so crazy to me. Like you're staying there from literally like staying there 12,
Oh.
15 hours.
Oh, I have stories. I have stories for you.
It's crazy. I just I don't get it. Like, you know, waiting at the barbershop for a few hours, that was cool, whatever. We in there, you know, shooting the shit, whatever. You listen to the old cats, this, that, and the other when you're coming up. But man, I remember my prom date, like, she's like, she going to get her hair done. Like she was legit there until late that night. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you a story. But let me say this first. Okay. So my mom's a cosmetologist. And she partly became a cosmetologist because of one of the stories I'm about to tell you. But I will say, I'm from a small town, and like the 2 towns over, each town, like the towns on each side of us, where we would go get our hair done, those cosmetologists were slow. Like we literally, as kids, we would call them slow A and slow B. Like A is one of their names, B is the other name because I don't want to say their names. But yeah, they were just it's ridiculous. And so when we were younger, we would go to this one lady. We're gonna call her Miss Lady.
All right, Miss Lady.
Slowest person ever. Like she has to talk, and she was heavier set, so she would stop and lean and like take a break, and we would literally, as me and my two sisters and myself, there's four people getting their hair done. We would literally be in there from morning until night. And my dad even came because this is around the time you didn't have cell phones. My dad even came to check on us one time because he was like, there's no way that it's taking that, like he really thought
Yeah, he
something
thought something
happened
was
to
wrong,
us.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, but it was ridiculous. We were always in there, the shop, like, all those chemicals, smelling all those chemicals all the time. You ain't got nothing in there for kids to keep kids busy. You always had it on the stories. Like it was just
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
experience. But my mom eventually became a cosmetologist. You could never say that my mom had you waiting. If she had you waiting, it'd be 5 minutes. That's it. And I can't even say that I remember people waiting because she knew how to schedule and she knew how to do her time. You know what I mean? Um, like she knows how to talk and multitask and all of that. So and I'm not just saying that because she's my mom. That's really how she was. You know what I mean? She was respectful of people's time and that's something. Because of that, I have very high expectations when I go get my hair done. Um, I've gone places and I've had to wait a long time, and yeah, you see my face? Yeah,
Yeah.
like it really pissed me off because I don't like it's just disrespectful. Like, you gotta do a better job of scheduling. But I will say my stylist Keisha here in Atlanta, like I don't recall having to wait on her before. And when she gets in there, she does my hair quickly. Like it's always perfect, top of the line. Like I would refer anyone to her. But yeah, like it's just Miss Lady messed me up. Cause
Miss Lady.
I didn't want, I didn't
Poor
want to
woman.
get my hair done for a long time. And anytime my mom said we was going to get our hair done, it was just crazy. Like I don't know, friend. But yeah, like it's gotten ridiculous. Like these things that people are telling you to do before, it's almost like people just don't want to work. And they feel like almost like a sense of entitlement to your money.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a sense of entitlement because they feel like you're not gonna go anywhere else, so,
Hmm.
hey, y'all, show these folks. Your
Right.
time is important, your time is valuable, it's the most valuable currency out there, you cannot get your time back, so please don't these folks that are not respectful of your time, just leave them alone,
Stop
go
using
to
them.
those YouTube videos if you have to.
Yeah.
You might learn a few things. Then maybe you can take care of your hair and your friends and save everybody's time
Okay.
because that's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
So,
it really is.
I mean, shout out to all the women out there who have sat and waited many hours
I mean, you
for
get
the
free,
for those
free.
for that French roll and that banana peel, those
That
banana
French
peels back in the
roll.
day.
I forgot about the French roll. The French rolls, the finger waves.
Woo!
I
So
had a French roll once, and I took my school pictures and like look cute miniature French roll. Let me see if I can find that picture.
I don't know if those will ever come back. We see a lot of things coming back, but banana peels,
What's a banana
the French
peel?
roll, banana. That's what it looked like. It looked like. Hey, I'll find a
You
picture.
talking about when
Somebody
the
got.
hair is coming at the top?
Yeah, the banana peels.
The like waterfalls.
Those banana peels,
I
bro.
think they
That's what they
got
called them.
waterfalls. Oh
Nah,
my gosh.
nah. I've heard many girls when I was growing up in junior high school refer to them as banana peels. So that's what they are.
I've never.
Maybe it's something different. We might be talking about two different
Maybe
things.
so. Maybe so. I'm gonna need you to
I'll
find that
find it.
picture
But
and
yeah,
show it to me.
but all in all, especially people are using any apps, like they should be pretty progressive. Like they should if you're using a scheduling app or you have any type of scheduling function on your website, then it's for a reason. And you should be able to block out those times. I mean, it's not that difficult.
Start doing reviews, people.
That too,
Really, start doing reviews. Like don't just do reviews when you have a bad time. Do reviews when you have a good time as well. When
for
you're
sure.
pleased as well. But in your reviews, like most of the time, reviews that people take seriously are reviews that are like give a little bit more information. Like don't just say I went here, this was good, or I went here, this was bad. Like, hey, I went to such and such, and she was very respectful of my time. I feel like I got my money's worth. Like give a few details just to make it a little bit more believable.
Yeah, give positive, specific feedback. Like
Yeah,
learn
positive.
that when I was working at Apple. That's some Apple stuff. I'm a former fruit stand guy, so we they have a feedback culture, which I think is big in any type of company, but even as a consumer or customer, uh, definitely should stick with that whole feedback approach. Is positive specific and negative specific. Like just not great job, great experience. They'll tell why. Not terrible, never go here again. Tell why.
Yeah,
Let people know because a lot of times when I'm looking at buying a product or any type of looking at going anywhere new, like if I'm doing any type of service for my vehicle or any service at all, I'm going to look at reviews, and you can pretty much pick out the people who just it's on them. You can kind of the people that are just salty for whatever reason,
yeah,
and then you have the people that give you very specific details of why they weren't happy, and that makes a difference to me.
yeah,
It might keep me from going to that business for that service or keep me from buying that product. I'll look for an alternative, or I'll choose how I'm going to buy it. Because I mean, sometimes I might get it from somewhere just so I can try it out because I know I'm going to take it back because of the reviews people got, or I just won't deal with it at all. So reviews are important. So make sure you're reviewing those folks, both the good and the bad. But yeah,
oh boy, I
need to get you
just
get you some banana peels, Trina.
friend, I'm gonna stick to my bun.
Yeah,
I made a post like a couple of weeks ago that said the one thing that's definitely consistent in my life is my bun.
you can count on that.
Yeah, like I've had the same bun. It's a little frizz. Okay, a lot of frizz. Yeah, like somebody's knees. But yeah, like I've had the same bun up for like 2 days since wilding out.
Well, at least you're consistent, I
Yeah,
guess. Okay, well, good talk.
I know.
Always a pleasure.
Uh, yeah,
So it's going to end it right here then.
yeah.
Be safe out there, folks. Wash your hands. Keep your hands away from your face. Don't go licking on doorknobs and stuff like that because people have been doing that. There's been reports of people doing that to spread the coronavirus. So people are, the devil is busy, y'all. The
No
devil
licking
is busy.
on Bluebell ice cream. You nasties. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with people? What is wrong with these people?
I blame the parents. I'm always blaming the parents. I know it's not always the parents' fault because
Yeah,
trust, I've done some things that my parents did not teach me.
yeah.
So, but be safe out there. Wash your hands. Keep your hands away from your face. Cough into your arm, not into your hand. Just pray, all of that. And then, like we touched on, everything with the stylists. If they're doing a terrible job or they're making you wait for hours on end, don't patronize that business anymore. Keep it moving. Either find another
Don't
stylist.
be a groupie. Keep it moving, shawty.
Okay. Don't patronize those businesses. You know, uh, write those reviews, get in touch with the Better Business Bureau, whatever you need to do to help those people step their game up because you're not only helping other customers, you're going to eventually, you know, in a roundabout way, you're helping those businesses because if they're doing a piss poor job, somebody needs to tell them because they
You
may
know,
be have a sense of entitlement. And
I'm good for writing those letters to the Better Business Bureau.
so
Okay.
as long as they're getting business, they're going to keep on doing what they do.
Yep.
But always in closing, we appreciate y'all listening. Be sure to follow us on the socials. Dub Squared Pod on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can check out the website at dubsquaredpodcast.com. You can listen to the podcast there, of course, but also you can listen to it wherever podcasts are found. Shout out to everybody who's subscribed, and we really do appreciate you guys listening. We appreciate the feedback. You're keeping us going.
Mhm.
So Can't say that enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Thank you
and thank
once, thank you
you.
twice, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Exactly.
That's what you was
And
about to say?
yeah, I was gonna say that. But and again, International Women's Day. Shout out to all the women in my life that have played a part in me becoming the person that I am today. I can never do enough to thank you. So thank you, Trina.
You're welcome,
Shout out to my
friend.
mama. Shout out to my aunts. What's up, Carolyn? What's up, Taretha? Shout out to y'all. Those my second moms there. My dad's sisters. Um, shout out to all my other friends. I feel like I need to name other people, but hey,
Name your relatives.
shout out to
'Cause
y'all.
yeah, name your relatives because once you start naming like friends and stuff
Yeah, it's
like
gonna be a
that, then
problem. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I like to give a shout out to my mom, my aunts, my sisters. Like like I celebrate you guys, and my late grandmother and my late
shout
grandmother.
out to her. Yeah, man. Shout out to Danny McQueenie, boy. That was my Southern Belle right there. Shout out to her and Eva White. Man, some great women helped to raise me, man. So I always say Clementine cannot forget about Clementine. That's my
Yeah,
homie right there.
yeah.
That's my homie right there. So anything good in my life, they had a part in it. Anything bad I do, they had nothing to do with it. So
That's a good one. I like
yeah.
that. I like that.
So all right, y'all. That's another one in the books. Thank y'all for listening.
Holla.
Bye.